Today we're going to go over coordinate planes, and for the rest of the week we're going to learn how to graph linear equations. So we've been learning to read them, but we've never graphed them ourselves. So we're going to make sure we understand all the terminology that you should have learned in 5th and 6th grade. So today should be super, super easy because it's just a review of stuff you should already know. All right, so let's start with this. This whole thing is called a coordinate plane. It's also known as a coordinate grid or a graph, yes? It is split into 4 sections called quadrants. Did everybody hear me? It is split into 4 sections called quadrants. It is split by the axes. The axis that runs from left to right is called the x-axis. Write it down. The axis that runs up and down is called the y-axis. Now, when you're talking about more than one axis, it's called axes, and they split it into the 4 quadrants. So everybody look, this is the 1 quadrant, 2, 3, and 4. When you're labeling your quadrants, it does not go clockwise. The top right quadrant is quadrant 1, and it's written as a Roman numeral. The reason that this one is quadrant 1 is because this is the most popular quadrant. Does anybody know why this quadrant is used the most? Because everything over here is positive. So everybody look, all of the x's are positive. And then if I go up, all of the y's are also positive. That is why it's quadrant 1. A lot of times when you're doing a worksheet or an assignment or a word problem, everybody look, you'll see a graph and it'll look like this. What did they do here? They only made quadrant 1 of a graph. So they basically zoomed in to that quadrant because whatever they're graphing only has positives. Make sense? So a lot of times when you see a graph that looks like that, the reason is it's the best way to graph it. All right, this going counterclockwise is quadrant 2, but written as a Roman numeral. I should see everybody writing. This is quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, the x's are negatives and the y's are positive. Okay, down at the bottom left, this is quadrant 3, and it's written as 3 i's, quadrant 3. Everything in quadrant 3 are what? Negatives. The x's are negatives, and the y's are also negative. And then this is quadrant 4, and you write a Roman numeral 4 as an I and a V. I and a V. Because a V is a 5, and then if you have an I to the left, it means 1 less than 5. Quadrant 4, who can tell me, what are the X's in this quadrant? Positives. What are the Y's in this quadrant? Negatives. Okay, where the x and the y-axis meet is at point 0, 0. What is this called? The origin. The origin. Okay, and then once you put a dot on the coordinate plane, that is called a coordinate. Write it small because we're going to put one more word. That is called a coordinate. It can also be referred to as an ordered pair. So this dot right here is either referred to as a coordinate or an ordered pair. Now remember that when you graph, it is always an X and then comma and then a Y. When you graph, it's always an X, comma, Y. Now let's read the directions of what this says. It says, state the quadrant of the given ordered pair. So everybody, the first coordinate we're going to go to is 3, 3. That means the x is positive 3, so on the x-axis, go to positive 3, hold your pencil, and then go up to positive 3. So 1, 2, 3. What quadrant would I be in? Did I even need to graph that, or could I say, hey, they're both positives, so it's quadrant 1. Are y'all with me? All right, go to the next one. Negative 4, positive 3. So on the x-axis, I go to negative 4. I go up to positive 3. What quadrant am I in? 2. One, 6. It's both positive, so what quadrant is that? Quadrant 1. 7, negative 2. On the x-axis, go to 7, which would be over here, and go down to what quadrant would you be in? 4. So an I and a V. Quadrant 4. Am I going too fast, or y'all okay? We good? All right, go to 5, negative 8. So on the x-axis, go to 5. It's just somewhere over here. If I go down 8, what quadrant would I be in? 4. Negative 4, negative 1. Go to negative 4 on the x-axis. Go down 1. What quadrant are we in? Anyone? 3. Okay, negative 2, 3. What quadrant am I in? 2. Negative 3, negative 3. 3. And we're going to add 1. Put 21 and put 0, negative 2. Everybody go on the x-axis to 0. Hold your pencil. Go down 2. Are you in a quadrant? No, you're not. Where are you at? You are on the y-axis. So you would just say, I'm not in a quadrant. I am on the y-axis. The y-axis and the x-axis are not in a quadrant. Does everybody understand that? All right, so today your assignment is going to be graphing points and plotting points, and that's it. Super, super easy, yes? All right, I'll get it. Okay, so on the front, make sure you put your name. You are going to tell what point is located in each pair. So this says positive 5, so I go to 5, 5. What point is that at? O, and I would put an O. Does everybody understand how to do that part? When you go to number 9 through 16, it says write the ordered pair. So I go to point D. D is right here. Where am I at? Well, on the x-axis, I'm at 5. On the y-axis, I'm at 2. So 5, 2. Then at the bottom, it says for you to plot those points and label them. So you will go to negative 2, 9. So negative 2, 9 is here. I will put a dot. Am I done? No, I have to label it. And they want me to label that one point A. So I put an A next to it. Everybody understand how to do this side?